guys, what's up? It's Jen minus the name because he's right here, but he's not going to be talking in this video. I just wanted to get on here and just talk to you guys on a more personal level. And my thoughts are hella sporadic right now, but it's okay. It's about to be 5:30 in the morning, and I tried vlogging, and I vlogged for like 2 days, but I failed miserably because when I vlogged, I wasn't consistent with it, I guess you could say. Like, I just vlogged a little bit of the day, and I didn't bring you guys with me to the places that I went. I only recorded to and from there, and it's just lame. So basically, to keep this short, before I get all in my feelings, I just want to show you all the books that I've been reading and the 2 books that I got from Books A Million. So the first book I got is a book about conspiracy theories, and like it says history's greatest plots, collusions, and cover-ups. I love reading about conspiracy theories because they're always so cool to me. And then I also got this book. It's the complete guide to self-care, best practices for a healthier and happier you. Should we crank up the car just in case the battery dies? Because I don't want to take the risk. Okay. And I'm currently reading, I'm not going to read those books yet until I'm done reading the books that I'm reading now. I'm reading this book right here. It's about reading people, and it's actually really good. I'm like this much into the book, and it says that I'm only in chapter 4, but it's like really good. I've read a book on body language before because Andrea Russett, she made a tweet or Instagram post, I forgot which, but it was like years ago, and my mom ended up getting me the body language book, and it was really good. So whenever Andrea Russett posts books that she reads, I tend to buy them because they're actually really good. And then I'm also reading this book. It's a very much motivational book. Called You Are a Badass at Making Money. And then my mother-in-law for Christmas last year, she got me this book that I wanted. It's called Survive Like a Spy, but I haven't read it yet because I want to finish reading these 2 books, because me personally, I have a hard time comprehending, and reading 2 books at once is really hard because my attention span is all over the place. But yeah. And then my mother-in-law got me this book as well when Nathaniel and I first started dating. And in the beginning of it, I don't know if you guys can read that, but it says, "To Jenna, thank you for loving my son. May God bless both of you forever." And I really want to start reading this book. And then Nathaniel at Books A Million, he got this book. It's basically like little stories about Sherlock Holmes, and he's reading this book. I don't know what chapter he's on, but he says that it's a really good book. And yeah, so let's put these books away real quickly. We're gonna turn on the car so that way we don't kill the battery with these lights on, so hold on. We're having mechanical difficulties. You guys, sorry about that. this video is all over the fucking place. Alright, you guys, this was supposed to be a sit-down talk video, but obviously a lot is going on right now. I don't know what the fuck to say now. I had like a whole list of shit to talk about, and now it's like...
We don't know.
Huh?
We don't know, just because you're talking whispering right now.
I don't want to do it in the room.
You do it in the morning, later in the morning. Or when you wake up. Well?
No.
Before going to work.
I just wanted to basically talk about how my biggest problem is comparing myself to others. Anybody that knows me knows I compare myself to a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot. Like, there's YouTubers that I come across, and I'm not gonna say their names, but you guys should know who I'm talking about. But I see how they're always getting new homes, building their own homes, providing for their families, just being happy. And obviously I know that's not realistic, but it just bothers me because I always wish that I could be like that. Like, I wish that Nathaniel and I were financially stable enough to build our own home and provide a house for our future kids. And it just hurts when you feel like you're failing in life. And Nathaniel and I were doing so good. Like, we were doing so good with getting the apartment. We made our families proud. And I felt good for the moment. But now that we had to move in with one of his closest family members, like, it's just really taken a toll on us. And like, it's nothing against his aunt and uncle. It's nothing against them at all. But it just sucks because it feels like we're back to square one, and it just feels like a huge slap in the face when it comes to like us staying here. Like, I just wish that we had all the money in the world. And don't get me wrong, we do love our job, but we just strongly dislike how it's part-time. And normally I would be quick to say, oh well, get a second job, but it doesn't go like that. Like, he'll find a second job, but me personally, I can only deal with one job. And that's because my doctor, I know that doctors don't know everything, but they do know a lot. And the doctor, when I got discharged from the hospital, they did state to not get a job that's super stressful, or it could trigger another manic episode. And so I've been abiding by that because I don't want to overwhelm myself, because this job is a night shift job, so I could work during the day, but I choose not to. And I know it's going to make me seem like lazy to most, but I just feel like life is really taking a toll on us, and I really hate this. Like, it really sucks. It really fucking sucks. And I want to sit here and be like, oh, it'll get better, but I hear that nonstop, and it never gets better. I feel like you just get used to the pain and used to the heartache that you have to endure, and it just hurts so fucking much. Like, and it's like I have all this anger built up inside me. Like, ever since this pandemic started, it's like taken such a massive toll on Nathaniel and I's relationship. And we've been arguing a lot more than usual, and I know that it's normal to argue. I know all the Karens are gonna be like, oh, in a relationship and marriage, you're supposed to argue. Like, no. I don't want to argue. I want to be able to have phenomenal communication skills. I want to be able to have the let's fix it mindset. I don't want to argue. I don't want to be argumentative. I saw my parents argue 24/7. That's the last thing I need right now. Because I saw what a toll it took on my mom when her and my dad would argue. just told myself one thing is that I would never argue with my significant other. Like, they argue. And then the other thing I can't disclose because according to my sister, my dad watches my YouTube channel, but I don't know. I'm all over the place. And it's like, you take one step forward and it's like 10 steps back. And it's like you try to be above waters and do good for yourself and persevere through all the madness, but it's like something just grabs you by your ankle and just drowns the fuck out of you. And it just makes me so mad because I was really upset when we moved, the first day we moved into his uncle and aunt's house, and I was just sitting on the bed and just thinking about everything, and I looked at the picture I posted on Instagram, and it just really fucking hurt, like, seeing us having to move out of our very first apartment. And like, part of me wishes that we would have stayed, but the other half is glad that we moved out because it really caused us to go through a financial hardship and having to borrow money from family members and close friends, and now that's coming to bite us in the ass. And I just feel like I haven't been able to really truly talk to anyone. Like, I've been shutting out everyone. And one of my old good friends, she's gonna watch this probably, and she knows I'm talking about her, but she hates when I shut down, and that's my number one thing. I've always shut down. Like, my dad has always raised my sisters and I just to suffer in silence because nobody gives a fuck about you. And at the end of the day, all you have is yourself. Nobody's gonna love you like you love yourself. Nobody's gonna do you how you do yourself. Like, yeah, people just want to hear your problems just so they can run to it about somebody else. Like, just like, I'm just so scatterbrained right now, you guys. Bear with me, but it just fucking sucks, and I hate how I can't fully express myself without jumping the gun and assuming I'm playing victim, because we did put ourselves in this predicament. But I'm grateful that we were able to break the lease, and I'm glad that we were not evicted, because the last thing we need is eviction on our records. So thank God for that. And then another thing is, we haven't been able to go to church ever since we moved where we moved, because we lived 40 minutes away from our church, and we're like, we're not gonna drive there every Sunday, plus we watch it on our live stream on Facebook and stuff. But I feel like the live streams don't do things enough justice, because you don't feel like that full spiritual feeling that you get in church, like when you get a chill, or like when you're feeling the music, you know. Like, I just want to be able to go back to church. I want to be able to feel God's presence again, because Lord knows I need him. He just killed the mosquito with his hand.
With blood. That means it just sucked a lot of our blood.
Nah, they die after they suck your blood. But yeah, so that's why I got a book on self-care, and I can't wait to read it. Like, I've been rushing myself on reading the 2 books that I am reading. Like, I'll probably just finish the Reading People one and then read the self-care book, because I'm so eager to see what it has in store for me. Because Lord knows I need to do a lot of self-care. Like, I'm just so down lately. Like, whenever we were living in the apartment, it was good because we felt like it was our own space. And then whenever he was stressed, he could learn a new song or make his own song on the keyboard. Or me, I miss cooking pasta and being able to paint and talk loud or watch shows as loud as we want. And I just miss all that. Like, it's like there's no better feeling than doing your coping mechanisms in your own residence. Like, when it's like just you and your partner, and you guys are stressed, and you guys just resort to coping mechanisms. There's no better feeling than doing it in your own place. Like, now I just feel so limited because all my stuff and all his stuff is at my mom's. And I also miss my nephew, my little chunky monkey. I would insert a little video of him, but my sister doesn't want his face on YouTube. I don't blame her though. I wouldn't want my kid's face on social media, but yeah, I miss that little chunky boy. I love him so much, you guys, and he loves Nathaniel so much. And I'm just so upset. Like, I feel like I've just been getting hella depressed lately. And it's like work is the only thing that really helps me occupy my mind. And it may be part-time, but when I tell you guys I love this job so much, and not only that, but we switched to full-time literally no longer than 2 weeks from now because it starts November 1st. I have a nervous pit in my stomach for even talking about all of this with you guys, and it just really sucks. Like, I'm just so fed up with everything. Like, I'm so fortunate for the little things. Like, I'm glad that we were able to get another car. I'm glad that we were able to find a roof over our heads, and I'm glad I'm getting close with my aunt and uncle-in-law. And yeah, I'm just trying to remember and remind myself and count my blessings, because I just know that like life's gonna be hard, but you often forget about the things that are making you drown when you're so happy. And if you have bipolar disorder, I'm sure you know about the highs are never. Look at that dog.
It's a cat.
No, it's not
It's
a
a dog.
yeah. But having bipolar disorder, you're gonna have your highs and your lows. And I feel like lately I've been having more lows than highs. The lows have definitely been outweighing the highs. But I'm trying to do the little things that will help ease my mind. Like, we've rewatched Orange is the New Black. We're gonna start watching Ratched. There's a bunch of new series coming on Netflix.
Those trinkets.
Trinkets, yeah. And then another thing I wanted to say was, like, it's so crazy because I saw this quote on Facebook and it was like, you are what you see, you are what you watch, you are what you do. Like, I never really realized how accurate that quote was until we watched the documentary of Chris Watts murdering his wife and kids. And it's so crazy to me how that quote was so true, because after that documentary, I was so flustered and so appalled and so upset and drained after watching that. Like, I just can't believe somebody would do that to their family. And if we're being completely honest, I can't believe that, like, what was I about to say? But if we're being completely honest, like, that is my number one biggest fear. Like, I tell Nathaniel all the time, like, even when we very first started talking or getting to know each other, I told him my biggest fear is me getting married to somebody, having a family, and then the guy just wakes up one day and tries to kill me and my kids. And I'm like, I just can't believe that happened to Shannon. And the fact that he always wanted a baby boy, and she was pregnant with a baby boy, and the things he did to her and the girl was like, how could you do that? And it just reminds me of a lot from my childhood. A lot. And it's a lot that I choose not to speak on myself in that hole. I already made my bed and lying in it with the last video that we posted. Well, the video before that video, but it just really bothers me. Like, I know that we did say a couple things that were provocative or vulgar, but at the same time, I just feel like YouTubers should be showcasing their emotions and feelings. Like, they shouldn't be so quick to bottle things up and just show all the positive aspects of life, because they basically just end up putting this false image in people's heads about how life is supposed to be. Like another YouTuber, like David Dobrik, for an example. Let's use him. He's always surprising his friends with cars. He drives a Tesla. Like, he lives in like a probably 1.7 million house in LA. Or not even a freaking house like that. Like, he lives in LA. LA is a expensive ass way of living. But I just feel like he puts that false image in kids' heads. Like, that's what it's like to be successful. And that's why kids nowadays, they talk about how they want to be YouTubers when they grow up. And it's honestly put that false image in my head, because ever since I was little, like, believe it or not, back in 2012, I want to say, my sister Jillian and I, we used to make music videos to Build-A-Bear characters or whatever. Like, we would, like, I don't know how to describe it, but we would make music videos with, let me explain it, but basically, so if you go to Build-A-Bear Workshop, back in the day, if you went, you would get a bear certificate, and that's the bear's birth certificate. And then you go on buildabearbuild.com, and it's basically like Club Penguin, but like a more kiddie type of vibe. And we would make music videos like of us, like our little character, like saying the words to the song, and we would make them like that. And that's how my sister and I like really got close, because like we would like share our editing skills. And then after that, then I was on YouTube for making music videos, like music videos of me like lip singing the song, and that was before YouTube started copywriting. And yeah, I just feel like kids nowadays want to be YouTubers. Back then, they probably didn't even watch YouTube like that. And if they did, it was probably just to listen to music. It was never really to watch like Andrea Russet, for an example, or whoever else, like, I don't know. But a new thing my fiance, well, Nathaniel and I have been doing, we've been watching podcasts, and we watched Thane and Heath Unfiltered. We listen to Claudia and Phineas. There's a lot of YouTubers that I watch. And I'm not gonna lie, it is pretty discouraging, like how motivational and positive they are. And here I am in a car, just like freaking saying my feelings and shit. I really need to get over myself sometimes, because I feel like I do the most when it comes to showcasing my emotions. I don't know how to showcase them, honestly. Like, I feel like I get that from my dad. He really never knew how to showcase his emotions, and if he did, it was through anger and delivering. But his deliverance sucked, but it's fine. But yeah, I'm just honestly like in a bubble right now. Like, I'm in a funk, and I just hate that I'm in such a big funk. Like, I just wish I could be happy. I wish I could just, I don't know, I wish I could just fast forward through this life just to see like what my future holds. But at the same time, you don't know about, what's the quote that says, fuck, what did it say? It was like, you won't know what your future holds unless you go through what you're going through. But me personally, this is gonna make me sound like a huge ass victim right now, but I've gone through hell and whatever more worse is hell. Like, I've gone through the worst of the worst, and I'm still going through the worst. And it's like, when the fuck am I gonna start being happy so tired of this. Like, I'm tired of feeling like this. But moral of the story is, so I don't talk all y'all's ears out, be happy. Think of the little things. Count your blessings. If you're not religious, then count the things that you really do love about your life. And I know it's gonna be hard, but don't think about the bad, because if you dwell on the bad parts of your life, you'll just end up depressed as fuck. And you don't want to be depressed because it is 2020 and you don't want to live your life on what ifs. You want to be able to live your life happy and just be a good person. Like, be a good person, people, because you never know what somebody's going through. And just, even if it means you shutting down like I do, just journal. Don't bottle all that shit up in your head. Me personally, I don't journal anymore. Nathaniel's my fucking journal. And not only that, it's because my hands crap up. So just journal on your phone or something. And just a quote that I'm gonna get tatted on me. You guys hear it first. It's never run faster than your guardian angel can fly. I'm gonna get that tatted down my spine. Just remember that. That's food for thought, because you never ever want to run faster than your guardian angel, because your guardian angel is going to protect you and love you like no other. And I have not one, not two, but 3 guardian angels on my back. I got my dog Minnie.